Hey guys, welcome to Start Off with Matt
and Isaiah.
This is a podcast where two brother-in-laws present two different topics to talk about, but only one topic will make the cut. If you think we should have picked a different topic or like one of the topics presented better than the other, let us know what you'd like us to talk about in the comments on this video, or you can find our link tree on our Insta at startoff_podcast. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts for new episodes every single Friday. Hey man.
So, how you doing, Matt?
I am doing all right. You want to give him a little bit of a vibe check, what we're dealing with today?
Yeah, so the vibe check for the day is it's a beautiful Saturday morning. We are just doing a podcast right now. It's bright, it's sunny, and we're caffeinated.
We are caffeinated, luckily. It's about, it was 8 a.m. I don't know what time it is now, but yeah, it's early. I mean, we're pretty tired, but we're going to keep our energy up because guys, we love doing this podcast. Yes. It's so much fun. We really enjoy just getting to talk to each other and getting to see you guys' responses to it. It's really fun.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, man. Like I've said previously, the rules of this podcast are: we both present a topic. We figure out which topic we would like to talk about. Me and Isaiah don't know the topics going in. I've picked a topic. Isaiah's picked a topic. And we just debate over the topic. If there's a tie, we ask our producer boy, snaps for producer boy Karis. So yeah, that's the vibe, and this is our pod. Isaiah, do you have a topic?
Yes, sir, I do.
Sweet. Who do you want to go first, me or you?
I'll go first.
All right, make it happen.
So my topic for this week is video games that were hyped, but ended up being really bad.
Okay. So my topic is favorite action movies.
Ooh.
The thing that brought this up is I watched the new Matrix movie. Spoilers ahead for anybody who hasn't seen the new Matrix movie. I think it's called Resurrection.
Reloaded.
No, that's the second one.
Oh.
No, I can't remember what the name is, but yeah. The reason why, again, spoilers, I wanted to talk about this is because it sucked. It was really disappointing, and it was a new Matrix, and I was very sad. So I was like, dang, man, I really need some good action movies, like something that really sells me. And so I was like, what if we talked about this?
But wasn't he flying?
I mean, it doesn't make a good movie just because he was flying. I mean, it can. I mean, that's like 90% of Superman. So yeah, fair.
Yeah, I guess I've never actually seen The Matrix.
We've talked about this. So for context, me and Isaiah and our other brother-in-law, Michael, have been trying to get together for what, like a year and a half? Maybe longer?
Wasn't it like last week?
No, but we've been trying to do this for a really long time.
Well, dude, I stopped trying.
I know. I think we both did. Yeah, no, we've been trying to watch this movie for so long, and eventually we just gave up for a while. And then I put in the group chat, I was like, guys, this is the week. We're watching The Matrix. And we had everything planned out. And then, as a bit of how my week is going, which we'll check in with Isaiah next, but last week, my entire family had what we thought was an outbreak of COVID. So that really sucked. We all turned out to have the flu. Everybody was fine. Everybody feels fine now. But yeah, for about a week, I was incapacitated. So I'm really glad to be doing the podcast again because, man, I missed it. And I mean, it's been a little bit. No time will have passed for you guys, but yeah, for me, it's been about a week. And even though this podcast is new, I really missed it. I missed getting to see you guys and getting to talk to you, Isaiah. But yeah, I mean, I'm just blessed and super, super glad that everybody tested negative for COVID and everybody's completely fine now.
Because it was just a flu, right?
Yeah. Okay. Emily, Isaiah's fiance, and my sister Emily had tested positive for the flu. So we figured that's what it was, but everybody was basically waiting on their COVID tests for about like 5 to 7 days.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, it was fun. I got to catch up on some reading and watch some shows and stuff. It was cool, but like, I don't know. I miss people.
Yeah. So I was talking to Emily, Matt's brother, and my fiance. I was like,
Matt's sister. You mean?
I mean Matt's sister. I had never said this before, but I was like, I'm so glad he had the flu because, like, it was not COVID, and so like, I was like, that's better.
Yeah.
Than just having the flu. I meant having COVID. So I was very grateful that it wasn't as serious as something that could have really caused her a lot of harm.
Yeah.
So yeah, Matt, I'm glad to hear that you guys are all doing a lot better.
Thank you, man.
And you're recovering and everything's getting better.
Yeah, we're good. What about you, man? What's been going on in your week?
My week has been honestly not too bad. I think didn't this week it snow?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Now that kind of I don't like the snow, man.
I don't either.
Like when I was like 7, I did because I didn't have to drive in it. And didn't have to drive in the snow. And like I think the snow is like beautiful, but it's kind of inconvenient.
Yeah.
I just would much rather it not be snowing. Like when the snow started melting, I was the only one in my house that was excited that it was melting because I was like, now I can go to Zaxby's. And so I was
real big Zaxby's guy.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
We're not,
but can be. Zaxby's. We would love to have your chicken tenders for free.
But so yeah, I was just like really glad that the snow started melting. And that was pretty much one of the biggest highlights of my week was the fact that the snow kind of put a damper on some plans, but I was able to fix that and eventually do the things that I'd planned.
Yeah, that's super awesome, man. I mean, not the snow, but it eventually went away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun. But so, do you want to go ahead and pick whose topic we're going to be talking about?
Yeah.
So, refresh me with what your topic was again.
My topic was video games that were hyped but ended up being bad.
Okay. And then mine was action movies.
Action movies.
Specifically, favorite action movies.
Favorite action movies. Okay.
All right. So, what do you think?
That's kind of hard.
I'll let you put in your vote first, and then
Okay. What about? I'll probably go with video games that were hyped but ended up being really bad. I got a lot of stuff to say about that.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm down for that, man.
All right.
Make it happen.
Like, I was thinking about the action one because we just did video games last week, but I don't really care.
I mean, yeah, we can do whatever.
I feel like I can talk about this a lot more.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, action movies probably would have been pretty solid, but
you're flip-flopping.
Yeah, no. I think I'll go with video games this week.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
I kind of want to go with mine because I can't really think on the top of my head a lot of video games that flopped for me. No, actually, that's not true. Yeah, it's not true. I thought about it for a minute and I was like, oh yeah, I've been disappointed before. I don't know. That's tough.
Let's go action movies.
Do you want to do action movies?
Yeah, we can do
rock,
that.
paper, scissors for it. What do you think? Or we should let Karis vote.
Yeah.
Nope. Editorial boy. What do you think?
I have a bias.
You have a bias with mine? Karis has a bias with mine. Do you want to explain to the people your bias?
Like bias towards or bias against?
Okay. Yeah, Karis is a big movies guy, as am I, is the thing. I'm more of a movies guy than a video game guy. Which is probably why I'll have more to say. But I say let's go with yours.
Okay.
All right. It's official. We're going with...
I say rock, paper, scissors.
We're going to
rock, paper, scissors?
Okay, we're throwing a wrench in it. Here we go.
So, I guess if I win, we do mine, and then if you win, we do yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Karis, add some like really epic music to this rock, paper, scissors. All right, here we go.
Rock, paper, scissors,
shoot. You changed. What the heck was that?
No, I didn't, bro.
What was that?
Dude,
what was that?
I just did.
This man was through rock.
No,
he very, very confidently through rock and then poked scissors out of it. Let's run that back.
Let's do it again. Rock, paper, scissors.
What is this? What is that? Whoa. What are you doing?
Yeah, I just...
What? He keeps changing his answer at the last second.
Okay,
I threw scissors. He threw scissors again.
Last one.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, I win. Okay, it's action movies.
Action movies.
Okay. Wow. We should do rock, paper, scissors more often. That was so epic. I didn't expect that to be that entertaining. So my thoughts on action movies. I'll go ahead and state my thoughts and let you give you a minute. So there are a lot of action movies out there that this also kind of goes into flopping. That flop. I mean, it's hard to nail an action movie because a lot of action movies fall into tropes, I think, of like just being either too much action and not enough story or vice versa. Things can get boring. Pacing is really important. How you pace a fight and how you pace like dialogue. Again, especially me and Karis are big movie buffs. I enjoy movies a lot more, I think, than video games, just because I feel like it's an easier media to consume. You're not actively doing something.
Yeah.
So like if I'm short on time, I can throw on a movie while I'm doing something. You know, I can't really video game while I do something. But yeah, what would you say would be your favorite action movie?
My favorite action movie?
Or action movie series?
I don't even have to think about it. I know it.
Okay.
It is the second My Hero Academia movie.
Oh
my gosh. I don't even have to think about it.
Oh my gosh.
I have never cried watching a fight scene.
Facts.
And I did.
Yep.
I cried hard man tears.
Yep.
And it was so beautiful. I just spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for the My Hero movie, for the second My Hero movie. What is it called again? I can't remember the official title of it.
Like
Heroes Rising or something? Is it Heroes Rising?
I think it's Heroes Rising.
Okay.
Or Two Heroes.
Two Heroes is the first one.
Okay. So I guess it's Heroes Rising. And so it was just such a beautiful scene, just seeing the characters fight, and I mean the animators. Like I honestly have like no words to describe it.
It's hard to do on a podcast. Huh? So that's a little tough for a podcast.
Yeah. But the animation was so fluid.
Yeah.
And it was, I think the best part about it was the sound.
Absolutely.
It was
unequivocally
very how would you describe it? Minimal?
Yeah.
So, like, imagine, like, an insane fight scene. I mean, people get thrown off across the map and stuff, but it's, like, piano music and, like, very light singing.
Yep.
And it was so beautiful
Dramatic.
and masterfully done. It was the first movie I had ever seen that I was like, I instantly want to pay for it again and watch it again.
Absolutely. Well, I remember because I had seen that movie with you. We saw it in
right.
theaters.
That's right.
Because we were both like, oh my gosh, new My Hero movie. And I wasn't expecting anything from it. I went in like, because based on the first one, I was like, oh, it's just an anime movie.
Yeah.
Which, no, I don't want to, I've thrown a lot of shade in this podcast. I threw a lot of shade last week with video games, but a little shade. Anime movies are usually not the best. Usually the series is obviously better, but just because they have time to develop a story.
Well, I feel like the anime movies that I've watched, at least if they're based on an actual series, I found them to be pretty good. The anime movies that are like just by itself, I don't think are like amazing. Some are. A Silent Voice is my favorite anime of all time.
I still haven't seen that. I need to.
Oh, it's so good. It's about a boy who meets a deaf girl, and he's trying to reestablish their relationship, and it's so beautiful. He learns sign language and stuff. And
oh wow!
It's so good.
That sounds awesome.
But I know we're talking about action movies. So I don't want to
go wherever you want with this. We can do whatever the crap we want.
But it was so good. I feel like a lot of anime movies oftentimes will. I feel like they step up their animation. They
Yeah,
step up
Absolutely.
the storytelling, and like make it something very entertaining. I gotta say though, I often kind of feel like they're very well paced too.
The pacing is pretty good, I will say, yeah.
And but I feel like anime movies are best when like, because oftentimes I feel like they're like a series. Or they're based off of a series. Like there'll be a Naruto movie, or there'll be a My Hero Academia movie.
Yep.
I think they're actually talking about making a Black Clover movie. But,
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Yep.
But there's also a beauty of watching a anime movie that you know nothing about.
Yeah.
There's a new one coming out that I want to actually see with you. And curious if you'd like to come, is this movie called Belle.
Yeah, you've talked to me about
dude,
this.
I saw a little bit of it, like a trailer of it, and it is a reimagining of Beauty and the Beast, but it's an anime, and it's so good.
It looks beautiful.
Oh, and it's gonna be in IMAX.
I'm so excited. I'm there. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think you're right about a lot of that. I think that my issue with most anime movies, I mean, I'm saying anime movies as far as anime movies go off of a series. I'm not talking like studio. I say Ghibli. I don't know how to say it correctly. If I said it wrong, don't come at me in the comments. I don't know how to say Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Is it Ghibli?
No.
Is it Ghibli? It's not. I don't know how to say it. I think it's either Ghibli or Ghibli. I've heard the same thing, or Ghibli.
I've heard Ghibli.
Yeah, I say Ghibli. I don't know if that's correct. I have no idea. Anyways. So yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking more series that have made movies like Dragon Ball or Naruto, stuff like that. Which I will say Dragon Ball movies are great, but I think that based on where they've come from, because I've seen the early Dragon Ball movies.
Yeah.
And they're not that great.
Like Dragon Ball or like Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball Z.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Like there's a couple that I can think of off the top of my head that are just kind of eh. There's one with like Garlic Jr. That's really, really disappointing. It's really kind of just eh. It's like, okay, I'm not invested in this villain, nor am I invested in the driving force behind this plot. Yeah. There's a couple like that, which you can tell that they just needed, like, they were like, oh, Dragon Ball movie. But now with like the Dragon Ball Super movies with like Broly and everything, they have stepped up their game so much.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. But I will say my favorite action movie. I have a couple.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm going to go with action movie series as a more broad stroke. If I have to pick one, I can. But number one, John Wick.
Dude,
have you seen John Wick?
Never.
You've never seen John Wick?
Nope.
Oh my! I can't yell because I'm on a mic.
Wait a minute. Weren't we? Was this the one you were talking about where he dies by blowing up the island?
No, that's the new James Bond. Also,
James Bond.
Spoilers for James Bond.
Oh, dang.
Really huge spoilers for the last James Bond Daniel Craig movie.
Dang.
Holy crap. That is so big. That's literally, again, okay, big red alert. Big James Bond spoilers. If you haven't seen it, I mean, at this point, if you haven't seen it, you probably don't care. But, yeah, that's literally how James Bond dies. It's what you just described. So, that's huge. But no, so John Wick is the one where it's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody listened to this, or most of y'all know this. If not, it's Keanu Reeves plays a guy who his wife has just died, and he gets this puppy that's given to him by his wife. And so the puppy ends up being killed by the mob.
What?
Yeah, and it turns out that John Wick, Keanu Reeves, is what used to be like a hitman for the mob, and he was like considered like legendary. They called him Baba Yaga, which means boogeyman.
Baba Yaga.
Which is like, they're like, Baba Yaga. What? Am I wrong?
Doesn't actually mean boogeyman.
What does it mean? Okay, apparently Baba Yaga doesn't mean boogeyman. Boogeyman. What does it mean?
Yaga, or Yaga, is a witch. It's
Is
like
it really?
An old crone, sort of.
Weird.
So when they put it in the movie and they're like, boogeyman, it's just not true.
That's not really
You're
it?
straight up lying.
How do you know that?
Because Baba Yaga, there's a DLC in Tomb Raider.
What a segue.
Yeah, that was really cool. Go ahead.
That's it.
It's just a
But
DLC
I
in
was
Tomb Raider?
like, weird. So I looked it up, and yeah, Baba Yaga means witch. And
Oh, weird.
throne.
Okay. Sorry, John Wick. You wrong. It still sounds cool. But yeah, basically, again, the plot is just that, like, he was a hitman for the mob, and then the mob kills the dog that his dead wife gave him, and then, like, beats the crap out of him and destroys his home, and he's like, screw y'all, and he just freaking wrecks shop. It's one of the best action movies I've ever seen, just because of the action, the story, everything. It's just Keanu Reeves. I mean, he's a treasure. I love Keanu. It's just so good. It's just and they're coming out with a fourth one pretty soon. I think it got delayed to like 2023. But yeah, I mean, it looks so amazing. As far as the fight scenes, I mean, Keanu Reeves is basically like the new Chuck Norris.
Dude, I saw a clip of Keanu Reeves, and he's like really good, even without like editing, acting, whatever.
Yep.
Like he's just like there was a I feel like you might have actually showed you may have shown me, but he had maybe like some sort of rifle or a gun or something.
Yep.
And he completed like hit like 30 targets in like 20 seconds or something like that.
Something crazy. Yeah, it's a video of Keanu Reeves that he's at a driving range, and this is how he's like studied for John Wick.
Yeah.
Also, Keanu Reeves has been doing action movies. I mean, The Matrix. He's been doing action movies forever. But yeah, you wouldn't know. Keanu Reeves is the main guy in The Matrix.
Yeah.
I know you haven't seen it, so.
Well, I mean,
You know stuff about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's at a driving range, and he has like a pistol, and then transitions over to a rifle, and is just like laying waste to like the little thing that he's running through, the little like I don't want to say obstacle course. I don't know what the actual technical term is, but the range that he's at, he's just like moving through targets, just headshot,
yeah,
and just killing it. I was like, this man is legitimately terrifying.
Like,
this is real.
Like, yeah, I mean, he could like really be this action person.
Yeah.
Like any action character, he can definitely play it.
What I love about Keanu Reeves, I know this is turned from a John Wick thing into Keanu Reeves, but I love Keanu Reeves. What I love about him is he's like the sweetest guy ever.
Yeah.
He's so nice. I remember there's a quote that he said on, and he's also just extremely smart. Just smart as a whip guy. You know, he went on, I think it was Colbert, Stephen Colbert, the Late Show. It's the talk show.
Yeah.
He went on there and they were just talking. I can't remember what it was about. They were just joking because it's a late show. And Stephen Colbert turns to Keanu and he's like, what do you think happens when we die? Which, like, what a loaded question.
Yeah.
And he stops and he sits and he thinks for a minute and he goes, I think that the ones who love us will miss us. And that's all he says. And then the thing ended. And I was like,
wow.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
Like, I got chills saying that. Like, that's the most beautiful way of encapsulating, like, that death is not about us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I think the ones that love us will miss us. But ultimately, it's, I mean, yes, of course it's about us. But I mean, it's also about the people that we leave behind, you know?
Yeah. I got you, man.
Come on, man. I was getting deep.
I'm sorry, bro. Yeah.
But no, I mean, because at the point we're dead. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're gone. What matters is the people that we leave behind, you know? Which I thought that was beautiful. Really, like, profound. But all of that is to say, yeah, John Wick is probably my favorite action movie. I'm sorry, not second to, but the second one I would say is Daniel Craig's 007 series.
The one
the one that you completely spoiled, yes.
I think I saw one of them. And
one of the James Bond movies?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
And it was very how would I describe it? It felt very elite.
Yes.
Like, it just felt very
like
cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
It's very stylized.
I feel like, so he wears like a suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And very, very, very fashionable. And I feel like he also drives a really nice car.
Yep.
And I kind of remember them being in a house of some sorts that was just absolutely beautiful, like insane, it almost kind of looked like a warehouse.
Yeah.
But in the best way possible.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't make sense.
No,
but it was so nice.
It's like, I mean, yeah, James Bond, especially what you were talking about, like usually if you're captured by a villain, or if you're like you've been detained in some way, you're put in a warehouse in a James Bond movie, which they've done that before.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, if there's like dialogue like between him and a villain, or if he's like captured or something, it's in like this beautiful landscape.
Yeah.
Or in this like enormous like lair looking thing where there's like white tile and like marble walls, and it's beautiful, and they don't have to do that. And it gives James Bond, especially Daniel Craig James Bond, just this leg up in like elitism. Almost.
Yeah.
Which I think it works for the style, because I mean James Bond is considered like he's like a national treasure.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he's the man, like as far as like the UK goes. He's like our Superman.
Yeah.
He's been put on this huge pedestal just because of like people like Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan, all these people that have done it before. But I think just with Daniel Craig's thing that I think really sold it was like his ability to be brooding,
Yeah.
but also vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like in the last movie, oh my gosh. Okay, No Time to Die is what the movie's called. Again, I can't stress enough. Spoilers. Please don't listen to this if you haven't seen No Time to Die. Go watch No Time to Die and then come back. So when his daughter, there's a scene where he meets this girl that he had abandoned earlier in the film, in the beginning of the film, and he meets his daughter from her, and he's like, he's like, she has my blue eyes, and she's like, he's not yours. I'm sorry, she's not yours. And he's like, what? And she's like, she's not yours. She's somebody else's. And he's like, you can see the disappointment a little bit on his face.
Yeah.
And then he still starts caring for this kid. Like the next scene is him making her breakfast and like playing with her and like watching like a TV show with her. And in the end, right before he dies, spoilers again, gosh, right before he's blown up on this huge island, which, wow, what a way to go. Right before this cataclysmic huge thing happens, they're talking over, I think, a radio, and his significant other is like, "You're right, James. She does have your eyes."
Oh,
and that's
wow.
when it's revealed that it's his daughter. And I sobbed. Did you cry, Karis? You didn't cry? What? I was beside myself. I was like, "Oh my god!" And it was beautiful. And he like, you see him like look up, and he sees the missile that's about to kill him coming down.
Dang.
And she's saying like, "He does have your eyes," and he's like looking up, and he knows he's about to die, and he like, I think he smiles a little bit or something, or he starts to cry. And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Just like the vulnerability of this macho like 007 guy was just so beautifully done.
Oh, dude, man.
You gotta see it, man.
You know, that actually sounds very interesting. I feel like most movies, so he doesn't like come back, right?
No.
Okay.
As of yet, at least. But Daniel Craig has said that this is his last 007.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's probably not coming back.
Which I mean is great, or I mean it's not good that he's not coming back, but like I mean it
wrapped up the story.
Yeah, like it's over. And I kind of like the fact that I feel like most, at least American movies, they end well. Like everything is resolved, everything is just done, and it's. But like I kind of like how this, you know, he didn't. I mean, like it is resolved, and it. But like he didn't walk out of there.
Yeah, and he didn't walk away from it.
Like I've seen a lot of movies, where you know you're like, wow, there's no way he'll do that, and then you're like, surely he's dead, and then you're like, nope. This actually happens, or it was a dream all along, or you know, something like that.
There's a lot of tropes getting characters out of sticky spots,
and I like it when movies give us something different.
Yes, absolutely.
Which reminds me, there's a movie I have not seen, but I want to see, I don't know if any of you guys have seen it.
Okay.
It was a Superman horror movie. Did you guys see that?
Oh, it's about him as a kid, right?
Was it like Brightburn or something like that?
Brightburn, yep. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. Have you seen Brightburn? Okay.
So I've always kind of wanted to see it because it's like I've never seen a genre that's like a superhero, but it's horror at the same time.
Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness.
Is it going to be like that?
It's going to be horror.
Interesting.
Yep. I haven't seen it yet, but I mean, absolutely. That's such a cool trope.
And so I'd really like to see that because he's like a villain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of cool.
That's really awesome. Yeah, they do that. They did that in Injustice, the Injustice games. They turned Superman into a villain, and that was such a cool arc. I think that was probably my favorite arc with Superman, is just seeing Superman have to deal with himself, and other people have to deal with this god. You know, super cool.
Whew. So Matt, did you have any other movies that you're thinking about?
I said John Wick, 007. I'd say this is an oldie. This is a deep cut.
Okay.
But it is I was thinking about this topic. Oh, I've thought about it over the course of a couple weeks, and I was like, man, what really, like, how do you describe the favorite action movie, and how do you pick out that? And I was like, what's the action movie series that I've seen the most? And that's Lethal Weapon.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
Have you seen Lethal Weapon? That's with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Okay. Lethal Weapon is a movie about do you know who Danny Glover is?
Yeah.
From like Predator and everything. Yeah. And then Mel Gibson, before he was racist, or probably he probably still was. I don't support Mel Gibson. I do like Lethal Weapon. But yeah, Mel Gibson is a guy struggling with suicide, who's a cop. And he gets paired up with this guy who's about to retire from the force. And he's like trying to basically get himself killed.
What?
Mel Gibson is. Yeah.
He's suicidal?
Yep. Because his wife died. I can't remember how. But I know she died, and there's like scenes of him like playing with a gun and like playing Russian roulette and stuff, and he's like tortured. And the thing that saves him is this buddy cop. Who's Danny Glover. And it's beautiful.
That sounds so beautiful, man.
So good.
I've never seen anything like that.
It's so good. And like, I don't support Mel Gibson, but he's so good in that movie.
So he wants to die,
Yep.
but then like he finds purpose.
He finds purpose. Yeah, no, he gets purpose by his partner. And like, there's a scene in Lethal Weapon 3, I think. There's like 4 movies. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah. In Lethal Weapon 3, there's a scene where he's talking to Danny Glover's character. Again, I can't remember their name. Oh, Riggs is Mel Gibson. I can't remember Danny Glover's character.
Interesting.
But yeah. So, anyways. Not Murdoch. That's Daredevil. Murtaugh. Murtaugh.
I was close.
You were very close, yes.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, Murtaugh is Danny Glover's character. But yeah, so there's a scene in Lethal Weapon 3 where they're on this boat and they're talking about how Danny Glover's like, that's my family, and like basically they've adopted Riggs into his family, and he's like, that's my family, that's my people, you can't have these people. And he's like, you selfish bastard, he's like, I have nothing, you're gonna tell me that I, like, this is your family, I have literally nothing, you are all that I have. And it is beautiful, and that just breaks Danny Glover, and it's such a good movie. And not only that, it's just the action also.
Okay.
Like Mel Gibson is like riding on cars and is like freaking sprinting down a highway.
Dude,
it's so good.
Why have I never heard of this?
I don't know. It's a classic. They turned it into a TV series after Lethal Weapon 4. Like a while after they rebooted it as a series, and the series was kind of not good. Watch the movies.
Do you know where I can watch it at?
I think it's like, I'm really plugging Lethal Weapon right now. But yeah, I think it's on, I want to say Hulu. I can find out. But yeah, if you just Google Lethal Weapon, you'll be able to find it.
All right. I think I'm definitely going to have to check that one out, man.
It's really, really good. And do you have any other favorite action movies?
I'm thinking. I gotta say, it's just, actually, I have a lot. I have quite a bit.
Would you say is your top, other than the My Hero movie? Is the My Hero movie your top?
That is my top.
Okay.
But I'd probably would say, man, maybe it's just nostalgia, but one of my favorite movies of all time is the first Spider-Man.
Oh my
Tobey
gosh.
Maguire.
That's not nostalgia. It's just a freaking good movie.
Like, dude.
Willem Dafoe, Tobey Maguire, absolutely.
Dude, I mean, I've probably only seen it like 2 or 3 times maybe, but I can tell you everything about it.
Yeah,
everything.
Absolutely. Yep. Literally last night, I was over at a friend's house and they were watching like I think his sister was watching it downstairs, and it was just I was like watching it and I was like I could hear the lines in my head.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen it so many times. It's so good.
I mean, like you have Aunt May, the OG Aunt May.
The OG.
What was Ben's name? Ben.
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben, yes.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben. I just dang, man. Well, what's his last name? Parker. Okay.
So good,
I wanted to say Franklin, but I was like, that's not it.
Uncle Franklin Ben?
No, Ben Franklin.
Spider-Man learns that great power comes great responsibility by Ben Franklin and flies a kite.
That would be very interesting.
That'd be awesome. There's
Pull up.
probably like an alternate universe where that happened.
Especially because, but man, I mean, you know, like the iconic upside down kiss.
Yep.
The William Dafoe getting clapped by the writer, or I guess. Wait, you know. No, like
Yeah, when he gets like hit by the glider and like stabbed. Yeah.
Or like wait, so I'm pretty sure that also like oh no, but one of like I really liked the third Spider-Man movie when
You did?
when he started getting edgy.
You liked Spider-Man 3?
That was,
I hate Spider-Man 3.
it was so good. Remember like the I think because Venom was in that, right? Or
Yes.
that's right.
That was the first time we see Venom. Like live action at least.
And now what's his name again? Isn't it like Eddie something?
Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock, that's what it is. But I love the Spider-Man 3 scene where like his
I'm going to put some dirt in your eye.
what?
You remember that? Yeah, he's looking at he's talking to Eddie Brock and he's like, I'm going to put some dirt in your eye. It's so weird. It's the weirdest movie.
That's a very weird thing to say.
It's so weird. And then he's like, now tickle like this.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
No, he's walking down the street and like he's
like pointing and
Yeah.
dancing.
which is crazy because I was Emily, my fiance was sick and I went to cheer her up, and so I actually like reenacted that scene for her.
So good.
And I sent it to her, and and I think she liked it. And
Whoa.
Oh, she showed you?
Water. I loved it.
Oh, that's
She showed it to me and I was like, this is the best thing that I've ever seen.
and like, I mean, I think that a movie that you just want to talk about 10 years later, I think
Yeah.
that's a good action movie.
That's the thing that makes it. Absolutely. I think that Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
is my favorite. Like at least one of my favorite Spider-Man. My favorite Spider-Man is Spider-Man No Way Home. But like my second favorite would be Spider-Man 2 from Tobey Maguire. Have you seen that one?
I believe I've seen it, but remind me, is that the one where the Sandman? Oh,
That's Dr. Octopus is Spider-Man 2.
okay. Yeah. That was actually really good.
It was. It's what I consider like the Dark Knight of Spider-Man. Like, I mean, the character drivenness of it, and like the way that Sam Raimi, who was the director of Spider-Man, used to be a horror director. He used to direct horror movies. And I think that really shone through with that. Like he like was able to like build suspense with like some like where that scene where Doc Ock is climbing on the side of the wall.
Yeah.
You can't hear it, but you just see Harry Osborn looking over. Yeah. And it's like doom, doom. Yeah. And then he like kind of jump scares you.
Interesting.
So well done. And like the scene where they're like trying to like saw off his like electric arm, like his robot arms.
Yeah.
That was just straight up horror. That was a horror movie. Straight up.
Yeah.
It was really, really well done.
And I mean, the actor who played Dr. Octopus was like really good.
I almost said Alfred Molina. Is it Alfred Molina?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
He's just an incredibly good actor.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, especially, now we can say in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh my god.
So good.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. That's probably one of my favorite. If we include Marvel movies in this, which I think that's kind of their own category, because you can't really include them in action movies because then it's just they win. I didn't include that, but if you want to for just a second, because I'd love to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, probably one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
Just that, it might be a little bit of nostalgia. It's probably a lot of nostalgia, but just the character of Peter. Like, again, big spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. I know it's a recent movie, so big spoilers. When he's talking to MJ in that coffee shop, and he chooses not to tell her.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh!
That was so sad.
When Andrew saves MJ because he couldn't save Gwen.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
God!
I wonder,
so freaking good.
I wonder if they knew that.
What do you mean?
If this was planned.
Absolutely, it was planned. Unquestionably, because the guy.
So you mean 10 years ago they were like?
Oh, you mean having him in the movie,
or having all of it? She died so that they could have another one, and then it'll be a beautiful moment.
I don't know about that, but that'd be crazy.
Imagine telling that to the actress.
You're gonna die. Gwen Stacy walked so Andrew Garfield could run.
Or more so that Zendaya could be saved.
Yeah, which just wow.
So, what was your favorite scene in that Spider-Man movie?
Unquestionably, when the three Spider-Men.
Again,
big spoilers. The biggest spoiler, when Toby, Andrew, and Tom are running. They're running from the Liberty. It's right after Andrew gives the line of I love you guys, and they're like, thank you.
Yeah,
which is so cute. They're running in single file, and then they're thwipping together.
Yeah,
Chill's talking about it, and then they land in their iconic poses on the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
I lost my mother freaking mind.
Guys, I was in the movie theater. Actually, it was me, Karis, and Matt. We were all in the movies at the same time.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, it was so awesome.
The theater erupted. I will say that Spider-Man No Way Home was probably my favorite theater experience ever. Just because the theater that we were at, everyone was so pumped because we went on opening night.
Yeah.
And everyone was so freaking pumped for this movie. And, you could feel it. And, as soon as, again, big spoilers. As soon as Matt Murdock showed up.
Yeah.
That was the start.
Yeah.
Of just everybody being oh my gosh! This is real! And just everyone just losing their minds. And I remember when Andrew showed up, standing, clapping, screaming.
Yeah.
And I was doing it too. As soon as they showed up, oh my gosh, I lost my mind. Just absolutely one of the best, not only movie theater experiences, but movies that I've ever seen.
And it was, I guess, one of the craziest parts was how it was. This movie is 20 years in the making.
Yes, that's a lot of it. Yeah,
you would. There were probably people in that movie theater who the Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire movies are older than they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I think that's why. So Spider-Man No Way Home, I think, is the highest grossing movie now. I don't know if that's. I'm not. Don't take my word for that. But I think it might be the highest grossing. I know it's the highest grossing opening weekend. It beat out Endgame. It's the highest grossing box office opening weekend. I read that recently. But
ever.
Mm-hmm. It beat out Endgame. Had the top seat.
Or in America.
No, just period.
Interesting.
Yep, because it was Endgame originally, and then Endgame became that highest grossing film, period. And then below that was The Force Awakens, the 7th Star Wars movie.
I don't think that's true.
It is. You can look it up.
Gone with the Wind, I think, sold a lot more.
Nope.
No, I'm just kidding. Nope. I'm just kidding. It didn't.
I was about to say, I was like, this man's going for Gone with the Wind. Yeah, fact check me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so my thing is, it's so multi-generational because you have those people that are like, oh my gosh, Tobey Maguire. Not only, well, we didn't know that Tobey Maguire was in it, but
we kind of did.
We kind of did. I mean, we had leaks. I had lost hope, which is why when I saw them, I freaked out. I will say that them pitching that Alfred Molina is coming back and Willem Dafoe's coming back. that Tobey Maguire audience is there. Like they're like, oh my gosh.
Wait a minute. Do we know that in the trailer?
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
And then learning that Electro, and later once we learned that the Lizard is coming back, like then you have the Andrew Garfield audience, and then obviously the Tom Holland audience was already there, but which is a following of their own. But I think just the compounded nostalgia of having, like you said, 20 years of film play out in front of you, and seeing these storylines that have gone for 20 years tie up in just the most miraculous and beautiful way, I think really, really took it over the edge.
Actually, so I'm looking at it, and goodness gracious, it made a lot of money.
It made a stupid amount of money. Yes.
As of January 8th, today, the highest selling movie of all time is Avatar.
It's still Avatar? I thought Endgame beat it.
Endgame has 2.7 million, or 2.7 billion. Avatar has 2.8.
Oh, wow. I really thought Endgame beat it. Okay.
But this movie's only been out for like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Avatar's been out for like
7 years. Yeah, it's very possible.
It's like over 10 years. It came
Really?
out in 2009.
Holy crap. Wow.
So it's like it's like a 12-year-old movie. But the fact that it's gotten almost there in like a couple weeks.
Like I said, I think it's the biggest opening weekend.
Oh yeah. That's
like period. I think it beat out an Endgame.
Dude, like how many times did you see it?
I've seen it I think 3 times.
Like in that weekend?
No.
I know people who have seen it.
Yep.
They saw it 3 or 4 times just in the weekend.
Yep. I remember. So our producer Karis, I think I called you or you called me. I can't remember, but I was literally like, I was pumping gas right outside the movie theater, and I think you called me and you were like, "Hey man, I just saw Spider-Man: No Way Home. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I need to see it again." And I was like, "Really?" And the thing is, Karis is very, very critical when it comes to movies. So if Karis says it's one of the best movies you've ever seen, you're in for a good time.
Oh man!
So the hype was just raised, and I was like buzzing. And he was like, "I need to come see it again right now." And I was like, "I have an extra ticket." And he was like, "I'm on my way." So Karis ended up seeing it twice in one day. Which, I mean, apparently you said that the crowd that you were with the first time kind of sucked. Oh. Which it really blows, because I mean, I remember again, my favorite thing about it was the crowd.
Yeah.
Literally, as we're talking about this, Karis is drawing Andrew Garfield. Also, follow Karis on his art pages. It's really beautiful. He's doing a really good job. I think his arts are in the link in our link tree. But anyways, yeah, one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Now, Matt, what is one of the worst action movies you've ever seen?
Oh, I can do this.
Can I start?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, okay. There's a lot, but
Yep.
I'll just start with the one that I can just think of off the top of my head. The last Rambo movie.
Oh my gosh, it's crap.
Did you saw it?
I didn't see it, but I've seen like bits and pieces of it, and it's crap. It's literal crap.
It was so bad. It was so...
He's so old. He's so old.
It was so bad. I had never seen any worse acting. It was so bad.
It makes me so sad because Sly is so good. I love Sly. He's great, but like, it just wasn't good.
And like, I feel like that movie. I feel like I should preface it and say that he is a good actor.
Yes,
and he's not.
We've seen Rocky.
Yeah. He's not a bad actor, but the stuff that they had him like saying and the action, I think that there was one scene. Okay, so spoiler alert: he rigged his entire house so that if anybody came, it'd be like a Home Alone kind of thing.
I was about to say, it's like a Home Alone style.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But worse. And Home Alone was, spider or like, step on a nail. That's like one thing.
Yeah.
This was like, his house was like a war trench. And
oh my gosh,
he had like shotguns or like in the wall, and so he'd be behind the wall, kind of like a little like mannequin, or not like a puppet. He'd be behind the wall. He'd like shoot somebody and run over to the other side and shoot somebody again. He took out an entire army of people, and it was that was I guess it was kind of cool how he did that, being like like 80
Home Alone style.
Yeah. And then like this one, like he had like a bear trap. It like caught his leg, and I think it like took off the leg like clean.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so bad.
That's terrible.
You want to know the worst part about it?
What?
He was like, hey, I think somehow I feel like he might have like, I feel like he crucified somebody.
What?
What do I feel like he did? Or like almost like he like had them like hung up by like something, like they were like
Like a
stabbed,
meat hook?
something like Dead by Daylight or something like that. It
Oh
was
my gosh.
something, right? And then he was like, I think that they might have killed his daughter.
I think I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
And he was like, you stole my heart. And he's like, now I'm going to steal yours or something like that. And he went into the guy and grabbed his heart.
Oh my god.
But no, I don't think he like cut his way through. I think
He just grabbed it?
He used his bare
What
hands
the heck?
and went through a guy's chest.
Which, I mean, does he have superpowers now? Like,
Probably.
oh my gosh, that's the worst.
It was so bad, but you know, imagine this 80-year-old man walking in there like, I'm gonna steal your heart.
It's the worst. It's so bad. No, like I feel like the longer that the franchises go, maybe the worse that the movies get. You should just let a franchise die, because I feel the same. Did you see the latest Predator movie?
No.
Don't. Have you seen it, Karis? It's one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. I saw it in theaters. I don't know why. I don't remember why. I think we just needed something to watch. But it's so bad. The dude at the end of the movie, I'm not even going to say spoilers for Predator. Don't see the new Predator. I think it's called Predators. Like some dumb tagline. I don't even remember. It's extremely forgettable. Don't go see it. At the end of the movie, they're like, oh, there was like this black box that we discovered. And they're like, he's like, oh, what's in the black box? And so they open it, and it's like this Predator fighting suit thing. And you're like, what the actual crap is that? I remember it looking like a Power Ranger suit. And he's like, now I'm the Predator. Or something stupid like that. And the movie ends, and I was like, I want to die. I never want to be in a movie theater again. And I remember walking out, and like there was this guy, because like they go to jail or something. I can't remember the freaking plot. It's crap. But like they go to jail or something, and there's one of these guys in the bus that apparently has quote unquote Tourette's, and he's just like F S. And he's like slapping himself. That's not what Tourette's is. That's not how Tourette's work. And like it's like they're trying to be edgy. And freaking Keegan-Michael Key is in it. I don't know why.
Dang.
They were trying to go with like a comedic route or something. Yeah. But it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And there's like this kid who apparently like can like sense the predators or something like that. He has like some weird power.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I hate everything about it.
I can just tell you, I haven't even seen it, but like, and so I actually, Keegan-Michael Key, or I think that's his name, right? Yeah. He's like an incredibly funny comedian.
He's very funny. Yeah, I love Key and Peele.
And I think he actually was in a Christmas movie. I think it was on Netflix, and he played like the villain.
Oh wow, okay.
And I don't know if he. Like, I don't know if he did. Wait, like what?
His career.
Yeah, his career is kind of plateaued and then kind of is on the down.
But he did an incredible job as this villain. Like he was singing and he was acting and dancing, and it was really entertaining.
That's pretty cool. I know he's in like Schnigadoob. What the crap is the name? What is it called? Schmigadoon? Something like that. It's an Apple TV Plus like original.
That sounds not like it's
not
I
great.
Probably wouldn't want to watch it, but I feel like having him as like in this movie, I guess maybe since it was going to be a violent movie,
yeah,
maybe they wanted a comedic touch.
I guess and it just didn't work because it's Predator. Have you seen the first Predator?
No.
Okay. It's like these really biff. What? It's these really, it's these really buff guys. What the crap happened? It's these really buff guys, and like they're really macho, and it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and like a couple other guys. I can't remember who else is in the movie, but like there's just like these really macho dudes, and it's very serious, and it's almost like horror-ish, because the Predator is like hunting them, and they're like Predator vision. It's creepy, very akin to like the first Alien movie. Not as horror tropey, but like more like action movie. But yeah. And so they went from that to like comedic, like slapstick humor for the last one, and tried to mix that with like still being scary, and nothing was scary, and the action was garbage.
So, you felt like the evolution of the movies from the first one to the most recent one declined.
Absolutely. Unquestionably. Yes.
How do you think that action movies have evolved in general over time?
I think that if they're paying attention to the art, they're making a good movie.
Yeah.
If they have an original thing, which originality is few and far between in Hollywood these days, there's sequels to everything. But if you have an original take, or something that is a callback to something that is nostalgic enough to be able to create a following, if you can do that and do that well, then I think you can do great. But I think if you sacrifice an artistic drive or vision just for like big explosions, cough cough Michael Bay, nope, he sucks. Karras just gave me a like a point and a bit of a look, and he sucks. And don't tell me different. He ruined Ninja Turtles.
Wait, you mean he did the
crappy live action Ninja Turtles?
You mean where they were like, "Hey guys, it's pizza"?
Yes. Okay, but that's just Ninja Turtles. But
Sorry.
No, he did like a crappy rendition where he gave like Donatello like glasses and like tech and stuff, which like he has that in.
He doesn't wear glasses?
No, he's literally a freaking turtle.
Well,
he's just a turtle. And they gave like Leo and like Raph has sunglasses. It just nothing makes sense. And Megan Fox is April O'Neil, and I can't stress enough how much that sucks. And Casey Jones is like a grown 30-year-old man. It's just the worst. It's awful. It's not a good movie.
That was the first DS game I ever got.
Well, okay, TMNT is great. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The old movies, I mean, they're pretty cheesy, but they're fun.
Yeah.
The animated movie, though, have you seen the animated TMNT movie?
You mean like the 3D one?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of liked it.
Oh,
I mean, maybe I was
no
9.
No, it's amazing.
Okay.
It's unquestionably amazing. It's the best thing that I've seen Ninja Turtles do. If you stuck more, because they go into this trope of like fighting a higher power type thing, and they kind of get away from the turtles for a bit. But if they just stuck with like, there's like this family dynamic between obviously Leo and Raph, where Raphael is like the rebellious one.
Yeah.
And just there's a fight scene between Leo and Raph.
I remember that.
Oh my gosh.
It was really good. Wow, I think we need to talk about this a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Like, this is such a repressed thought, and I've only seen it once.
It's so good. It's amazing. There's a fight, like the fight scene where they're in the rain.
Yeah.
Like Leo's like, I was just trying to be a leader, and this is the line of the movie that I remember is like he's like, I'm trying to be a leader. I'm trying to lead my brothers. I'm trying to lead this family. And Raph goes, whoever said I wanted to be led. And then he like drops everything. He's like, don't do this, Raph.
Yeah.
And they start to fight, and it's two brothers. You could feel it. Oh my god!
I feel like
freaking good.
It was so good because I feel like I've fought with my brothers before. And
It
I feel
feels like you're fighting with your brothers, but just dialed to 11.
Yeah, and turtles.
Yep, and turtles.
So,
and
like,
ninjas.
It felt so natural.
Absolutely.
And the way that they made the turtles feel was very, I think, reflective of how they were portrayed in the cartoon. Because it was a cartoon first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, first it was a comic.
Okay. Is TMNT like? Are they affiliated with any
Like Marvel or DC?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
They're owned by right now they're owned by IDW, which is like an independent kind of comic. They're not independent, but they do stuff like Transformers and like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics.
Okay. Yeah, that was a great movie.
So freaking good. I think that is our time, though, guys. I think that I could talk about TMNT for another 3 hours, but yeah, I think that's it. I think we got to wrap up. But thank you guys so much for listening to us today. And if you want to hear us talk more about action movies, just talk to us in the comments. Isaiah, do you want to take us out of here?
Yes, thank you all so much for just tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're listening to this on YouTube. And you also could check us out on Instagram, where we have the link for our link tree, for the link for all of our socials are there. So please feel free to go and check that out, guys. And thank you all so much for tuning in. All right, this is Start Off with Matt and Isaiah.
And Isaiah, I will see you next week.
See you next week, man.